You are looking to quit your job for transitioning into full-time trading. You have some experience in the markets, but you're not sure where to begin from. Some might say focus on risk management, others might say no, psychology is more important, which at the end of the day confuses you. So don't worry, I got you covered. After spending thousands of dollars in Forex education, I've piled up a practical step by step guide which you can follow to quit your job using trading. Now, some people might say that they lack capital, but unavailability of capital is no more an issue right now because we live in an era of prop firms and we are blessed with the opportunity of people who are willing to give us millions of dollars to trade from. So, all you need is the skill sets. So, let's get right into the video. Point number one, solid trading strategy. Finding a strategy that works in the market is the foundation of your trading success. You can't be trading based on emotions or intuitions, which probably most of you do, and expect to be a consistent winner. Not having an edge in the market is the surest and the fastest way to lose money in this game. You might get a few winners here and there, but the question that I want you to ask yourself is it replicable and sustainable in the long run? I personally had been in this situation multiple times in the past when I had a few winners here and there without any edge in the market purely based on emotions. And what those profits did was that it installed bad habits in me. Those profits motivated me and made me overconfident in a way that I started to believe that I don't really need to have an edge in the market. But that was further from the truth. When the winning streak would end and the losing streak would start, I would get back to square one and start from zero all again. So I don't want you to repeat the same mistake. Instead, find the strategy that works in the market and be consistent with it. Another very big mistake which I did in my initial years, which costed me around 1 to 1.5 years of time, was hopping from one system to another. But trust me, to be a consistent winner, you don't really need to know all the strategies out there. You just need one strategy that you have mastered on. So, what I want you to do is for the next 1 month, consume as much information as possible. It might be from free sources like YouTube or paid mentorships, whatever you choose. But consume as much information as possible. Look at different strategies and see what fits your personality the best. Now, once you have figured out a strategy that works for you, you move on to the next step, which is building data. What I mean by building data is to start backtesting the system in the previous markets. If it works in the previous markets, then most probably it's also going to work in the live markets as well. Build a data of minimum 50 to 100 trades. Take screenshots of your trades and study them relentlessly. Obviously, it's going to be time consuming, but the extra efforts that you put in is what's going to separate you from 95% of the people who just gamble their money and consistently lose in this game. Once you're satisfied with the results of your backtesting, you move on to the next phase, which is forecasting. Now, what's the difference between backtesting and forecasting? In backtesting, you look at the previous data, but in forecasting, you look at the real markets. You actually plot your levels. You see how you would have entered the trade. You don't really enter the trade, but you see how you would have entered the trade according to your strategy and see how the markets played out. I want you to do this exercise for the next 2 to 3 months. Looking at the moves play in front of you will boost up your confidence. So now once you're done with backtesting and forecasting, you move on to the next step, which is live trading. Live trading does not mean you start risking $100 or $200 right off the bat. Instead, I suggest you to start with a minimum deposit and start risking small. What this is going to do is polish your psychology, because when real money is on the line, that's when fear, anxiety, greed and other emotions kicks in. With this exercise of live trading with a minimum deposit, you neutralize the effects of your emotions in trading. And trust me, people lose tens of thousands of dollars just to acquire this skill. You might lose the initial $100 or $200 that you have deposited, but you got the opportunity to learn the same skill for which others paid thousands of dollars to the market. This in itself gives you an unfair advantage over other traders. Obviously, all this is not going to happen overnight. It might take 2 to 3 months for someone, or for others, it might take 2 to 3 years, and that's completely fine because we all are on our own journey. Just don't compare yourself with others. Now, once you have acquired the skill set of neutralizing the effects of your emotions in trading, you move on to the next step, which is prop firms. Once you're consistent on a small account, you can also be consistent on a much bigger account until and unless you let your psychology mess with it. What I want you to understand is that the numbers are irrelevant in trading. What matters is the percentage. 4% on a $10,000 account is $400, whereas the same 4% on a $1 million account is $40,000. So you see, the percentage is the same, but there's a huge difference between the numbers. So I want you to understand this, and most probably if you have followed all the steps mentioned above, you are going to pass a prop firm challenge. And now once you're consistent on that prop firm, I want you to stack up more accounts until and unless you start making 2 times or 3 times more than your monthly expenses. And this is when you can decide to quit your job and transition into full-time trading. Getting to become a consistent trader and then trade for a living is not overnight success. Following all the steps mentioned above might take you 1 to 2 years of time, and that's completely fine because it's a skill that once acquired can serve you well for your entire life. So don't give up and keep pushing. This is the end of this video. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, as it helps the YouTube algorithm to push our content further. I'll be back with another video in the next week. Till then, peace and love.